Greetings, dear ones. My name is Drax16, and thank you for clicking on this video. So I was thinking today to make a video, and I got to thinking about therapy. I don't think I've made a video about therapy, but having being someone who is mentally ill, I feel that therapy is very helpful. I've been to a lot of therapists and a lot of doctors, and some have been better than others. Some of them haven't worked very well, but some of them have worked very well. I remember, I think it was about 3 years ago, I went for therapy for my psychosis. I suffer from depression and psychosis, and I've been having depression for almost half my life. I mean, I was like 14 when when I first realized that, and when I was diagnosed with depression, and I'm 34 now. So it's been 20 years, over half my life that I've been depressed. But I can honestly say that therapy can help. It can. I'm not saying it will, because you just have to hit the right, how do you say this? Strike, like, I don't know how to say it, but you just need to find someone that can connect with you. And there are therapists out there that can connect with you, because you can share your thoughts, whether you're suicidal or whether you have an eating disorder or whether you're depressed or psychotic or bipolar or um, borderline personality disorder, whatever type of mental problem you've got, a therapist can help you. And I know that they cost a lot. It might cost you like 50 or $100 per session. But you see, dear ones, your lives are precious in the sight of God. According to Christianity, this life is an incredibly precious gift. And so to throw it away by not get help is just a very terrible thing to do. It's a very tragic thing whenever a person commits suicide. However, if you think that you're mentally ill and you're having suicidal thoughts and you want antidepressants, now I'm not a doctor, but I would say don't do that. Don't try to get antidepressants if you're feeling suicidal, because antidepressants have been known to increase suicidal thoughts. So, though I'm not a doctor, I know that for sure. So, don't think that you're depressed by default. Don't try and self diagnose yourself and try and help yourself and fight it off, because it doesn't make you weak just because you're physically, or not physically, it doesn't make you weak if you admit that you're mentally sick. It's no more weak than someone who admits that they have a heart problem. You don't say to a person with a heart problem, oh, they're so weak, how dare they ask for help? It's the same thing with mental illnesses. You just have a problem with your brain. It's no different than a problem with your heart. You wouldn't say that they're weak for seeking help, right? Anyways, so yeah, I can honestly say that therapy has helped. I went about 3 years ago for counseling or therapy of my psychosis. And the guy that my therapist was really helpful, because I could share my deepest and darkest secrets, and he didn't act shocked or disbelieve me. He completely understood where I was coming from. And that was very refreshing, to know that I could share whatever I wanted and he wasn't going to judge me or criticize me or whatever. So, yeah, do seek help if you're suffering from suicidal thoughts. You see, even if you have to give up a lot of money per session, your life is worth all the money in the world. It's worth more than all the money in the world, because you see, money was not made in the image of God, but you were, and you have value. So even if it costed more than $100, your life is worth it. Your life is worth saving. You are an incredibly precious uh, creature created by God Himself. And when God made you, He didn't make a mistake. You are beautiful in your own way. And I don't say that because I know I should. I say it because it's true. So, yeah, if you're thinking about therapy, I would encourage you to get in touch with the doctor, and they can direct you to some therapist that they're familiar with that you can call. Or heck, maybe you just do your therapy over the phone. Maybe you don't want to go into a doctor's office and be intimidated by all the doctors and nurses and all that. Some people just get nervous when they go to a doctor, the same way that they get nervous when they're visiting a dentist. But you can't do dental work over the phone. That's the difference. But yeah, please get help if you're mentally ill. It can help you a lot. And I know that because it has helped me tremendously. So please get help, dear ones. Please, um, try and step outside your comfort zone, because if you just live in denial and you just regret, or not regret, if you just try to repress all of your mental problems and you never speak up about it, that's all you'll ever be. You'll never find peace if you just refuse to get help. I mean, I'm not going to mention how I know this person, but I knew someone who committed suicide, and they refused to get help. So, and that was a tragic thing. He had so much to live for, but he refused to get help. And so it was a very sad thing when he died by his own hand. But, anyways, please get help if you're mentally ill. Please get help. Please try it out. And if the therapy that you go to, if you're the person doesn't work well with you, then find another one. It's okay. It's okay not to be able to connect with everyone. You're not going to connect, you're not going to strike a chord with every single therapist you see. But you see, there are people that you can have a lot in common with. There are people who will understand and who will give you good advice. So, yeah, please get help if you're mentally ill. Please do. It would be an incredibly tragic thing if you were to ignore all help and to just live in melancholy and despondency and stuff like that. That's not enjoyable, to just sit and fester in your mental problems. Why not do something that's going to help you feel better? Well, Drake, it costs a lot of money. Oh, so what? You're worth it. You're worth all the money in the world. You're worth more than all the money in the world. So your life is worth preserving. Your life is worth saving. And I firmly believe that. Though I probably don't know you as you're watching this video, but I do know that the Bible says that you and I were made in the image of God. So you and I bear God's likeness. God cares about you. He really does. In fact, um, St. Paul, he talked about a thorn in his flesh, a minister of, what did he call it? A messenger of Satan or something like that. So even St. Paul had problems. I believe that it may have been a mental issue that Paul had, but some believe that it was his enemies that were the thorn in his flesh. Some believe that it was his eyes. Maybe he had vision problems. I personally believe that it was depression, because he talked about, sin that dwells in his members, and that his members don't obey his mind. And that's exactly what someone with depression has. They do the things that they do not want to do. They overeat or undereat. They starve themselves. They cut themselves. They attempt suicide. So they do all sorts of things that they don't want to do. You see, not every bulimic person wants to be bulimic. Not every depressed person wants to be depressed. So, you know, I could be wrong. It could be something that I've completely missed. But I believe that St. Paul suffered from depression. And he said, I think it was to the Galatians, that he talked to them after he had had a bodily ailment, which, your brain is part of your body. So he may be referring to that depression. And so, yeah. So please get help, dear ones. Not just for my sake, because I do care about you, but not just for my sake, but for your own sake. It can give you peace. I know it may cost you a lot of money, but it's well worth it. It's nothing compared to the therapy and the help that you can and benefit from. So, yeah. Anyways, it's just been a little video I've made. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope that all of you have a beautiful day. God bless you.